Hey guys, and welcome back to Surviving the Aftermath for the final time. Yes, it's the end of the road. Do you see what I did there? Yeah, so you guys pretty much spoke with one voice on the last video because you were like, yeah, we're done with this for now. Wait for new content to come out and then revisit it. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely. I mean, you guys could tell in the last video that I had lost. I'm trying not to be too harsh. I had lost my interest in the game. It was no longer engaging me. So let's have some final thoughts about the game. And let's face it, everybody who's played the game, I think, feels like pretty much exactly the same way. Oh, a couple is arguing. Oh, this is the kids one, isn't it? Yeah, whatever. So yeah, how do I feel about the game? This is pretty much the same as everybody else. I've been reading the forums, and basically everybody's saying the same thing. The game has a lot of potential, but it's also got some big issues. The lack of sustainable resources, steel, plastic, and the derivative products of that, at the moment make the game, doomed to failure. Or your colony doomed to failure, not the game. The colony doomed to failure. So that's something that they need to change, and I'm sure they will. It's in early access, it's got another year of development. I'm sure that is something they're going to fix. What I'm more worried about is the world map and the specialists. Somebody on the forums summed this up, I thought quite succinctly, when they said, it's more of a chore than a pleasure. And they're absolutely right. Like when you first start playing, and you've got like one or two specialists, and you're going out and searching, then it's fine. But after a while, it just becomes a chore, and you're constantly being dragged out of what you want to focus on, which is your colony. Now, I've got to say, I have my doubts about whether this mechanic will ever be workable, like will ever be fun to play. Now, I did notice something. If we go into statistics down here, we've got societies encountered. Now, I wonder if this is something that they've got planned, where you'll actually find other societies, other colonies like ours. And I don't know, maybe you can set up trade routes and whatever. But for the world map to work, maybe they can add some features. Now, people have got various ideas about what they could do to make this better. Certainly, being able to queue up orders is something that you need. A one-button return to the home. So, I should just be able to say, go home, right, and they go back to Brian. The distances they can move, because this is a pretty big map. It's like you want to go home when you're out here, and it's going to take you like 5 or 6 turns just to get back to base. Now, if it was a one-shot deal, then that would make it better. And maybe the developers and maybe the player base can come up with some ideas to make this workable. But right now, this world map just doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me at all. So yeah, those are the downsides. The look of the game. Some people like the look of the game. I got to say, it's not horrible, but it doesn't really capture me the way some other games do. Like Surviving Mars. I love the look of Surviving Mars, and you can do some quite cool things. Maybe just the fact that it's the apocalypse and it's meant to be, pretty messed up and whatever, means that it's never going to be an aesthetic game, and that's very possible. There are other things that need work. At the moment, things like happiness have no effect at all. Housing seems to have basically no effect, other than to provide additional breeding opportunities. And that's something that, potentially... if they solve the problem with resources, then breeding becomes less of an issue. What else? I think that, the building upgrades need some work as well. Because at the moment, it's upgrading to the medical centre. Where's the medical centre? Yeah, upgrading to the medical centre. It's just a bigger version of the medical tent. Upgrading to the mess hall. It's just a bigger version of the cookhouse. It would be nice if they, there was something more added to it. So, because, to be honest, yeah, it's a little bit meh. Initially, the game's awesome. I really enjoyed playing it at the beginning, but it very quickly becomes kind of samey. And there needs to be, as you're upgrading, there need to be more advantages to stuff. And water is definitely something that's going to require some balancing going forward, because, I mean, look at this. Now, you imagine scattering these out over the map in line with the radiuses. Man, that's going to become a chore really soon. So that's something that definitely needs work. I mean, we need a more extensive tech tree for one thing. You know, we need to be able to develop like deep bore drills so that we can have like a deep well. I mean, especially when you bear in mind most colonies, like a colony of this size, 140 people, one well will satisfy everybody, right? And they're right next to blooming lakes. So, yeah, the water thing I think could do with a rethink. I would love to see. See, the thing is, I can't help but compare this to Crossroads Inn. This game doesn't have huge depth, and it doesn't have huge scope. But it could have, if you started to have the societies, you know, so you find other places, and add like loads more resource types, right? And then have, you know, lots of complex trading and whatever to keep your colony alive and be able to produce and sell and trade. And I mean, that could be awesome if they got the kind of depth that that Crossroads Inn has got. So, yeah, the game's got huge potential, and I really, really hope that they make it into the game that we all want, because it could be really good. It could be really good. But yeah, a few things to sort out. Was there anything else that I wanted to do? I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to do in the game. Let's just run through the tech tree. It's like, I've got to say, I'm kind of not staggeringly excited about the whole energy production thing. Adding energy at the moment, it doesn't seem to get you that much. It's like, okay, I need it to produce parts, and I need it for my environmental station to remove pollution. But other than that, there isn't a mass. Oh my, like, God, there's a lot of pollution out there. We're living in a radioactive wilderness. Yeah, so I didn't feel like a big drive to set that up, especially, but this is the thing, especially knowing the limitations on resources. So, yeah, the game should drive you towards those things, and I hope they change it so that it does, because this is absolutely the genre of game that I like playing, and there are so many things that could be really good about this game. What else? Yeah, so I've talked about specialists. What else on the stats screen? I'm sure there was something else on the stats screen that I was going to talk to you about. No. I mean, they've just released another patch where they're putting more iodine and antibiotics and something else onto the world map. But that is not the solution. The world map is not the solution. We need genuine sustainability. Now, if that's going to be through these other societies, then okay, fine. Or if it's going to be trading with other societies to get what you need, or it's going to be, you know, putting in mines so we can actually do some mining to get metals, and growing hemp to get the fibre and whatever to make clothes and whatever. If they more resources, it's a bit too simplistic at the moment. More and more complex production chains, more complex tech tree, and radically change the world map and the specialists. Managing like a whole, but it just becomes a bloomin' chore. So there you go. I'm sure I've sounded very, very negative, probably more negative than I am, because I'm sure that this will be developed and it will be improved, and it will end up being something that we want to play. Paradox are good at turning things. You remember when Surviving Mars was launched? It was not a good experience, okay? And that was like a full release. This is still early access. A year from now, this is going to be a vastly different game, I think. So we will leave it there. I am sorry to say goodbye to Brian. It's people doomed. to wandering around, toolless and naked. No wonder the population's going up. They're all wandering around with no clothes on, with nothing much to do. It's like, well, hey, what else can we do? So, yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. I will, when there's more content or they change the mechanics, then I will definitely revisit this game because I do see potential. So guys, leave me your comments. Let's do a roundup. Leave me your comments, leave me your thoughts. I will catch you for, I don't know, whatever the next thing is. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out.